I'm going to add payment processing to my app using GoHighLevel, and I'm going to have information passing back and forth to the tool. And today I'm going to show you how you can do this in order to avoid any kind of security issues that might not be there when it comes to payment processing. So I'm going to use my favorite CRM, GoHighLevel, with the app that I just built, and I'm going to add it directly into the payment processing in HighLevel so I can do all my payment processing and all my customer management directly inside the CRM. So stay tuned and build along with us. So recently I built a directory app that you can see on the screen, and this directory app is something that I want to now charge customers for. Now, as you know, a lot of these app builders, the biggest problem that they're having right now is security. Now, I personally don't feel comfortable just yet just integrating Stripe directly, even though I could, and even though I can work pretty hard in getting the security up. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create the payment processing inside of HighLevel and then have everything basically activated in here by passing information back and forth. Now, what I'm also going to tell you, if you're just deciding to basically even just sending information back and forth, this will kind of work either way, whether you're payment processing or whether you're not. So the first thing that I'm going to do is understand what will happen. So I will normally sell, let's say, the product directly with the landing page that I create in Lovable. And then when people want to buy now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over to the order form inside of my HighLevel. And then after they finish paying, I'm going to send them right back with a short little video of exactly telling them what to do and how the app's going to work, and automatically redirecting them back to the app and also sending an email going out. Now, I'm going to try to skip a few steps just to get to the meat of this, because the meat of this is like, how do you send information basically back and forth? And that's what we're going to do today, right? So the first thing that I'm going to do is, you see the directory app I have in here. I'm going to basically let Lovable create a sales page for it. And actually, I think I already have one. So if you come up here, you can always go to the root, which is your main page. And it's got, really easy like landing page in here. And I'm going to make the beginning page more of a sales page. All right. And I'm going to leave it in just doing that. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to our test account, and I'm going to create an order form, and I'm also going to create the product. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to payments. I'm going to go to products, click on products, and I'm going to create a 15-day trial with a $9.99 membership every month. So what I'm going to come in here, I'm going to call this Directory Plus. All right. And right from there, I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm just going to put a recurring subscription. It's going to be $9.99. It's going to be monthly with a trial period of 15 days. And there is no setup fee, okay? Super simple. I'm gonna hit save. Now, I have this already here. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I gotta put it in an order form. Now, I can't embed the HighLevel order form. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna go to sites, and I'm actually gonna create the form in here. So I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna create a folder, and I'm gonna go 00 dot, and I'm just gonna call it Directory Plus app. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here, and I'm going to create an order form that will react when that product gets sold. So I'm going to come over here, hit Directory Plus, and notice I created the product first, which is always what you need to do. I'm going to come over here to new funnel. I'm going to go to a blank, and I'm just going to call this Directory Plus order form. Okay. Not worried about the name right now. Just kind of, again, want to keep it moving for y'all. So we're going to let that go. Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here. But more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of HighLevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve, with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in HighLevel. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need. And if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. And I would normally go back in and add a logo and a footer and all that, but for the sake of this example, I'm just going to create the actual function, but I just want you to know what I'm going to do. So this is going to be Directory Plus order form, because that's exactly what it's going to do. The path is going to be directory. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to create a little path for Directory Plus, and I'm going to hit create funnel step. I'm going to create from blank. And normally, like I said, I would add a logo, but for now, we're just going to worry on the order form and then maybe a small footer, right? So I'm just going to do insert element. It's going to be one column, add, and what I'm going to do is I'm looking for one-step order form. Okay, nobody's shipping, so I'm going to correct that order form, and I'm just going to put hi company name and show the phone number's fine, but you are going to hide the shipping and order form. And notice how it says that up top, upgrade your order and save, no upgrading your order. And I'm just going to put your billing information. I'm just changing this up here. Okay, so it says your billing information. I went ahead and hid the company name, also hid the address because I'm not going to be shipping anything. And this thing is massive, so I'm going to click on the blue, which is the row, and I'm going to make that a bit smaller, just like about 50% or so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another element. I'm going to go to pre-built sections, and I'm just going to add a footer all the way down at the bottom, okay? Make it super easy. And if I wanted to build something more around this, I would, but I don't. I just want to make it super simple, all right? So we're just going to add a simple footer. We would change it later on. All right, so now I have a footer and everything else. Now we are going to go ahead and save this. All right, I'm gonna go hit the back button. And then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna come over here, but if I added the order form, I have to physically add the product. So I'm gonna come over here, go to products, directory plus, $9 subscription. We're ready to rock and roll, okay? Now in here, it built a nice little sales page, and I'm gonna say, this is going to be a paid app, but I am processing the payment on HighLevel. Please have the start building option button go to this website address. Also note that no one can sign up directly here. We will be sending members to the app via a webhook when they sign up and pay outside of this app in HighLevel. Because what we're going to do is basically we're going to process the payments inside there, then send all the contact information to create an account in here, and then that just have the customers log in. So we have to tell Lovable that, right? So I'm going to come over here, and inside of here, we already have the order. But the next thing I want to do is I have to create the automation that when they buy the product, or maybe I want to give them a tag, that I push them over, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do again another 00. This is going to be directory plus. Okay. Come over here. And this is going to be to create a user, right? So now I'm in the automation. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to label it D for directory 01, create user, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new trigger when payment is received, okay? And global product is, remember, directory plus, and the payment status is successful, meaning it passed the credit card checks and everything else. We are going to add a tag, okay? And the tag will be directory plus, okay? Add a new tag. All right, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna be sending a webhook. Now, the webhook is going to be through a URL, and then I have to add the custom data, right? Now, the other thing is I also wanna test this, and in order for me to test it, I gotta create some kind of triggering mechanism that doesn't involve me putting in a payment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to the new trigger right here, and I'm gonna type in the tag, and then I'm gonna do free directory plus, which is whenever somebody gets that tag, free directory, they will also be put into this automation, and they will automatically be added. Like that, I can control who gets it free, who doesn't, and so forth and so on. Maybe I want to give it to my friends and family, whatever the case is. Most important part is that we have the option of when the payment is received. We made it a subscription with a 15-day trial. We also gave the ability of adding other people to it by giving them a contact tag. And then we are adding a tag of directory plus for anybody that is getting it, because later on we're going to be using it to track members, current and non. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send a webhook over, and the webhook, we're now going to wait here for the address. But there's a little kind of calculation here that we have to do. I'll update the CDX3. All right, so it's asking for the page. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to give it a temporary address, but you would add your domain into it, like add a domain going into it. So that makes it super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and go back to workflows. We are going to go to sites. Inside of sites, we're going to go to our directory plus app, come over here. Now, I don't know if I have any domains in here, which I don't think I do. We have a microgreens, automated marketer.live, just for the sake of placing it. We're going to hit save because it doesn't really matter the domain. I just want to show you that you can add a domain. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this domain, go back to Lovable, please use this address, because it's asking me, okay, which address do you want me to send people to when they click it? Okay. And we got to remove this start building free. Well, actually you can, because it's going to be a 15-day free trial. And I'm going to say when they hit the start building free, make sure it goes to that site. Okay. Now that's just to handle the buttons, right? So anytime they do start building free and they hit it, you know what I'm saying? It's automatically going to go there. We're going to give that a hot minute in order to do that. Okay, cool. Now, if I hit this button, boom. All right. No products available. I might have not saved it, but we'll go back and we'll figure that out. Right. So now here we go. Now I need a webhook to send information to create the user. The information coming in will be full name and email. Now, obviously this is fake. As you can see, there's no payment information or anything here, and the product can't be added. That's why it has a question mark, because it doesn't have a payment provider in here. But it wouldn't matter. It would still work just the same. Just yours would be all connected and everything else. And you would want this to be a private key in order to make it a secret. And we'll go over security in a second, because you're going to want to run security in any of these apps that you build over and over. The great thing about Lovable is that you can run as many security checks to fix it as much as you want, and it doesn't actually use tokens. All right, and here's what Lovable did. It came back with an actual webhook that we're going to be able to use. Now, again, I'll change this and recreate it, but I'm going to take that webhook and I'm going to post it right here. When I added the webhook, remember, I added this as a webhook. I'm going to put in the URL. Let me show you again. Come in here. Under the trigger, come in here and type in the webhook. From the webhook, paste that directly in here. And then you're going to add the data. They give you the way to cut it, so meaning the way you should look. So you see full name. We're going to grab that, copy it. Key is full name. So you got to put the key on the left-hand side, and then the value is going to be what you collected from the customer, which is going to be full name. Then I go back to Lovable. It's giving me the second key, which is email. I'm going to copy that key. All right, that's the email. Remember, this is what Lovable's giving me. So I got to follow these two things right here. And then I'm going to come over here, contact, email. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save action, and I'm going to go ahead and publish. So now if it has people buy it or they come in here, it will automatically go in there. But now we have to test it, right? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a test workflow. I'm going to do Nuno. I'm in here somewhere under my test account. Beautiful. And I'm going to run a test. Okay. Now I just ran a test. Please validate that you received the information. Okay, didn't like the particular format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it again. So I'm going to go test workflow, and this is all fake here. So test 1, 2, 3, run test. Okay, and I'm going to come over here. Just ran the test again. Can you check now? Okay. Because we have to make sure that the information passing through is going to work. All right, awesome. And received the test, but it's missing a few things, right? One is I need a way for members to log in once they have already joined. And then what we need to do is we need to add a cancel button. Now, cancel is going to work a little bit differently because it's still going to require manual interaction for now. And I'll show you what I mean in a second, because we have to send a webhook back that's going to alert us to cancel the service, but we'll be able to manage it inside of HighLevel. Not the most ideal way, but honestly, you could always work to integrating Stripe when your app gets very popular. But when you're first launching and you want to test things out and you want to have a solid security behind your payment processing, this is the right way to go. And again, just something for you to test. But even if not, notice that I can still send the information with the tag. So as long as I get the webhook connection coming in to add the member and a webhook connection to cancel the member, I'll be pretty all right with this, right? All right, so just so we saw, if you come up here, you can just always go back to what you originally created. And again, if you guys want a full lesson on how to create a Lovable app, and we have a prompt maker for you and everything else, join our VC incubator. Also, it's a free community. We have all these courses in there. This is a little bit more advanced because again, we already created the app and everything else. The whole app creation process is in a previous video, so just make sure you go through that, right? Now, if you come in here, notice that now it has already a member sign in, so I can sign in and then I have a member sign in. Now, I already have the information coming in, but what happens if somebody wants to cancel? I don't want them coming out of the tool or emailing me. So what we're going to do is we're now going to go to our dashboard where we had it. And inside the dashboard, what we're going to do is once the customer is in, also give them the ability of canceling by adding a cancellation option, make it a pop-up and ask for a reason for cancellation, then send a webhook out to HighLevel to cancel the subscription. All right, now we have to do one more step. So we're gonna leave that the way it is. And all I wrote is once the customer is also in the dashboard, don't know what happened there, give them the ability of canceling by adding a cancellation option. So option button by the login, make it a pop-up and ask for a reason for cancellation, then send a webhook out to HighLevel to cancel the subscription, okay? And now we're going to go into the workflows. Remember, we have one for creating a workflow. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to make one for canceling. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Now, this is going to be the frustrating part. We're going to create another workflow, start from scratch. There is no way to cancel this service automatically. So we're going to have to do it by manual, but at least we'll get alerted. So we're going to do 02, and then it's going to be cancel directory plus. All right, fix all your spellings today. I'm definitely having a bad spelling day. And what we're going to do is we're going to first do inbound webhook. So you're going to type in inbound, grab the inbound webhook, and now notice you're going to have this address. Now, obviously, again, this is an example. This will be erased by the time you guys try. So we're going to come in here, and since we already wrote the prompt, I'm going to put at the end of the prompt, here is the webhook to send to. All right, and I'm going to post the webhook, and I'm going to hit enter. And now what it's going to do is give us the option of sending it back. Now, you'll obviously test this back and forth, but the main goal of all of this is being able to literally send information from this tool to that tool and having to communicate back and forth. And that's what we're trying to attempt and do. So we're going to, give it a few minutes so that it can go ahead and figure this out. And then we're going to go ahead and create it. All right, cool. Now we have the cancellation button up here. We're going to send a text back. Okay, now send a text back based on the first sign up you got so we can test the flow. Send name, email, and cancellation reason. And in the meantime, in here, there is one thing we're going to have to do. So I'm going to, let me just eliminate this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to then duplicate this tab. I'm going to leave this here, come back out. All right, and we're going to go over to settings. And we are going to go to custom fields. And in here, we would create a folder for the particular app, right? So let's make believe this is blah, blah, blah app. So this will be directory plus app. Okay. I'm going to hit save. Click on the directory plus app, add a field, and we're going to do single line and hit next about cancellation reason. Okay, hit save. And no matter what, I have to actually refresh this. Whenever you refresh, you need to ask, unfortunately, another webhook because the webhooks are generated at the time. So inbound webhook, we're going to copy this. We're going to have to give it back. So we'll go back to Lovable. Sorry, made a mistake. The actual cancel webhook is this address. All right, I'm going to give it the new address because I need the new address in order to save. Now, the thing about inbound webhooks, you're going to have to play the matching game in order for it to receive the information back. So it's going to update the URL and then we're going to ask it to test it one more time. All right, so we're going to give it a few seconds to do that. Wonderful. And it was actually nice enough. Lovable gave us two little options here. We're going to do test updated webhook and then hit enter. All right. And now we have to see whether or not this actually physically works. So what we'll do is we'll now go into HighLevel where we have the directory plus cancellation. We're going to fetch sample requests. And here is the information because now we have to get the testing information and whether or not. So I'm going to hit save. And actually I got to go back because no, that's good. And then it creates a contact. Now it might just update the contact. So don't worry about it, because it will never duplicate a contact if it has already the email. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in, select the field, full name. All right. And now you hit on this little tag here, inbound webhook trigger. See, it didn't send the full name. It's got to send the full name. For now, we can also do it with email. So it doesn't necessarily need to do that. So let's just go to email. All right. We'll change it to email. Come in here, inbound webhook trigger, email. All right. And then we're going to add another field, which is going to be cancellation reason. Cancellation reason. Come in here. Inbound webhook, cancel reason, right in there. So hit save. So now what this will do is not only will it do that, it's going to automatically do that. And then we're also going to remove the tag, directory plus, save action, publish, save. And now I have a way of canceling. Now, remember, this is going to do is just, take the tag away and everything else. But what we want to do now is do an internal notification and then send it to your team member, whoever's in charge, email, and it'll be, again, super easy. Assigned user will be me, all right, or whoever's in here. Not assigned user, it's probably a particular user. All right, and then it's going to be something like cancel requested, and I usually put the name, cancel inbound webhook email, and then it'll be cancel today, something like that, whatever. Reason was, all right, because you're going to definitely want to understand why people are canceling. Inbound webhook trigger, cancel reason, hit save. Okay, done. And now you're able to communicate back and forth with the tool in any which way you want. And then from here, if somebody hits the cancellation reason, boom, boom, boom. The second they do it, they hit confirm. I mean, then you can do much more than this. But how cool is that? You're able to connect basically both apps going back and forth. You now give yourself a real secure way of processing the order and then putting all their payment information in a completely separate app. And now you're able to do this. Now, imagine if you wanted to do like several memberships, you could do this where you add it to multiple memberships using that one webhook and so forth and so on. So a lot of really cool things to do here, but I thought this would be pretty interesting in the way combining it. Now, if you wanted to fill out a form and then send the information over, you could do the same thing. Remember, this is the cancellation. If I go back to the one that creates the user and adds it to the app, I could do a survey, I could do a form, I could do a contact tag. All I need to do is literally select the form that they filled out, come in here, form is, and then select the form. And then when they fill out the form, they immediately get access. So now you have an entry point of adding members to the tool, and you have an exit point directly inside the tool to cancel them out. So hopefully this helps, and we'll see you in the next one.